10 Good Ways for INFJs to Meet Future Partners. Today, we will be looking at the 10 good ways for INFJs to meet new partners. If you've been trying to learn more about how you could find your footing in the dating scene as someone with the INFJ personality type, then this one's for you. First off, let's take a quick look at what an INFJ is. The INFJ is one of the 16 personality types from the Myers Briggs test. It stands for an introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging. Therefore, these people have very specific needs in their romantic lives and often find it hard to get a head start in the dating scene. Throughout this video, we will be sharing the 10 good ways of INFJs to meet future partners, along with what they look for in a love interest. But before we get started, please remember to take a quick second and support our content by liking, subscribing, and turning the notification bell on. This helps us create more videos like this for your entertainment. If you're all set, then let's get started. Number 1. They should make their intentions clear. INFJs are people who do not go out often. Therefore, they do not have the substantial amount of experience that an extrovert or an ambivert would have in the dating scene. But one of the most important components of a relationship is clarity. Consider for a moment that this person could be the one that you spend the rest of your life with. If that is the case, would it not be better for you to stay transparent to them from the start? And in the event that they are not your future spouse, do you really want to risk wasting your time chasing after something that was never really there? The answer is no, is it not? In that case, you should take extra care to communicate exactly what you expect out of this venture with your future partner. Do you want something casual, something that can give you room to find your identity, or maybe even hang out with other people? It's best you lay that all on the table, just so you could see they are on the same page as you. Number 2. They should go where they feel comfortable. If you want to put yourself out there in the dating scene, then you have to learn how to slowly shed your introverted traits. No, we're not suggesting that you go out clubbing until dawn every day, but you can start out small and try to socialize with people who share the same interests as you. If you like reading, for example, you can try to go to your local library or indie bookstore a couple of times throughout the week. Not only will this help you find your crowd, it can also make establishment owners see you as a regular and treat you a little more differently than other customers. 2 birds, 1 stone. Once you start going to your favorite places on a regular basis, you will start to pick up on other people's personality traits, and it will become easier for you to gauge what it would look like if you had a relationship with one of them. Some of you might think that finding a partner can't really be this easy, but it can. Number 3. They should set boundaries. Setting boundaries is the backbone of not just any romantic relationship, but every relationship in your life. Good and healthy boundaries help you in connecting with people without sacrificing too much of yourself in the process. When saying this, it is important for us to point out that no relationship comes without sacrifices, but there's a clear line between compromising for your relationship and having people step on you. The former makes for a healthy relationship, while the latter does not. However, setting boundaries is sadly foreign territory to many people who carry the INFJ personality trait. In such cases, your main course of action should be to educate yourself better, then be able to aim for the kind of relationship you deserve. You can look into self-development classes or read self-help books on how boundaries work. An example could be Boundary Boss by Terry Cole, the renowned NYC psychotherapist. On that note, you could also choose to go to therapy. Remember that therapy is also a method of self-education, and there is no reason to be ashamed of going. Number 4. They should always communicate their needs. INFJs are the type of people who are advocates. However, that does not always go to plan. While some people are great for being advocates to the people they see suffering, they fail to do the same thing for themselves. This is often a result of having to put up with a lot of traumatic events and being told to just suck it up because other people have it worse. This pre-existing belief that the INFJ carries onto their daily life is exactly why they need to communicate their needs. Being introverted could only get you so far in life. Sooner or later, you will have to step up and be under the spotlight. Sure, as an INFJ, you could struggle with that because of the tons of judgment you're making in your head. Number 5. They should not be afraid to talk about the burnouts they are experiencing. Another very important point of communication in relationships is to let your special person know that you are experiencing a burnout. Whether they are social or mental, where introverts are concerned, burnouts become a dime a dozen. While having burnouts is normal and okay, sweeping them under the carpet and playing it cool is not okay. Burnouts should be talked about because the less you pay attention to them, the more severe they will get. And as a result, you you will find yourself feeling much worse than you did at the beginning. To avoid progressively getting worse, you should communicate how you are feeling to your partner on the daily. This will let them know what actions to take and what actions to avoid in order to maintain a healthy relationship with you. As long as you do the same thing for them, your relationship will have a very healthy structure and a strong base layer. Everyone has a different opinion on what makes a healthy relationship. What are your make or breaks in a healthy partnership? Let us know down below. Number 6. They should dial back on the idealism. A lot of people with the INFJ personality type have likely lived their lives indoors, seeking the comfort of their favorite TV shows, movies, books, and magazines. However, there is both an upside and a downside to spending your life this way. On one hand, these activities can help people with the INFJ personality type find what they like, and learning how to enjoy one's own company is important. But on the other hand, it starts to engrave a dose of idealism in you every day. This makes the individual slowly step further away from real-life expectations without even noticing it. Therefore, it will be in your best interest to dial back from these unrealistic ideas of how a partner should be as best as you can. Once you tone down the idealism and look at things from a rather logical point of view, it will be easier for you to weigh the pros and cons of people and to evaluate situations. This is the only way an INFJ can learn to build proper and long-lasting relationships. Number 7. They should try to control their jealousy and be realistic about their expectations. Every relationship is heavily based on expectations because any friendship or partnership is based on give and take. But the expectations only make sense so long as they are healthy and realistic. There are several different kinds of asks in a relationship. There are the everyday asks. Things like, can you load the dishwasher? Or can you help me open this jar? But then there are also the bigger, deeper asks that can steer and change your relationship. Asking for more quality time or deeper conversations are bigger yet reasonable asks. However, things start to get out of hand when jealousy gets involved. The unhealthier asks look like telling your significant other to change their workplace because of a person or holding them back from their respective friend groups. So the healthy approach to take here is to have reasonable expectations from your partner. Asking for them to change their lifestyle for you is out of your jurisdiction. However, something as small as walking the dog can actually bring you closer. Give it a try. Trust us, your decision will be worth it. Number 8. They should practice what they preach. We have previously mentioned how people with INFJ personality types are advocates and therefore preachers. But people often forget that the most important thing about preaching is practicing what you preach. If your actions don't match what comes out of your mouth, then your partner will have a harder time believing that you are being sincere. If your partner does not believe in your sincerity, then this will overcomplicate, challenge, and maybe even end your relationship. So you have to do everything you can to be true to who you are, and the best way of doing that is practicing what you preach. Simply lining up your actions with your words will do wonders for your credibility as a partner and a person. Number 9. They should be careful about who they let into their lives. People with the INFJ personality type can be very sensitive. Therefore, communicating is very important in their relationships. If anything goes south in any one of their work-related, familial, or romantic relationships, they can easily lose balance in their lives. However, this is not always going to be in their control. Sometimes relationships can get out of hand, and people could struggle to communicate their side of things. And yet other times, people could approach INFJ-type individuals with malevolent intentions. This is when things get a bit more out of hand, or rather complicated. This kind of emotional distress can entirely wreck an INFJ's life because they are introverts and do not trust many people to begin with. Therefore, the few people they do choose to trust, they must pick carefully. When a person with an INFJ personality type fails to let the right people into their life, the consequences can often be dire. They can walk away from that relationship with great emotional scars and need therapy for years to come. That's why people with the INFJ personality type should always be careful with who they keep around, because the kind of people that they keep in their circles will eventually determine the kind of person they become themselves. Number 10. They should not be afraid to detach. People who have the INFJ personality type can often find it hard to detach themselves from people whom they have known for a long time. Yet, it is important to remember that letting go of people can sometimes be beneficial to one's mental health. Therefore, people who have the INFJ personality type should teach themselves how to detach from toxic people that do not add value to their lives. In doing so, INFJs can achieve happy and healthy connections all throughout their lives. lives and experience less stress in general. This can even lead to them socializing more and becoming ambiverts, therefore making a positive change in their lives. And that marks the end of our video. If you enjoyed watching this, then be sure to let us know by giving us a thumbs up. Want to be the first to know when we have a new video? Then turn on the bell to be notified every time we upload one. Finally, if you're looking for something to binge on, you can click on the video that's currently on your screen. We'll see you in our next video.